Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm John, and this is my daily update on my progress getting back into optimal health and fitness. So, I did a video yesterday. When I came to editing it, I realized that there was an issue with the mic and there was absolutely no sound. So, I ditched that video a day late with this one, but so I'm kind of catching up on 2 days. It's Friday, the 19th of July, and so far made it to the gym every single day. Now, when I got back from the concert I went to on Wednesday, I got back home at around 2 a.m. And I woke up on Thursday, and my immediate reaction, my immediate thought was, okay, I'll skip today, I'll go tomorrow. But I know that at this stage, if I skip a day, then that one day will turn into two, into three. It's way too easy to make mistakes. So I'm sure that, like a lot of you out there, it's all a question about motivation. And really motivation, for me anyway, is really is a lot more difficult to come by. It's not like, in the 20s, 30s, 40s even, when motivation was always there. I'd wake up with boundless energy. I felt like I could do anything. I could go for hours and hours and hours without stopping. I had so much drive, and over the years that drive has kind of diminished, dropped off, and it's not what it used to be. So how am I staying motivated now? It's a daily struggle. I will be honest. As much as I'm really committed to getting up, going to the gym, eating healthy, trying to be as active as I possibly can, it is really hard to stay motivated. So again, I'm not waking up with full of piss and vinegar, just raring to go every day. So I think motivation, I'm coming by it a little bit differently, and it's something I think I'm earning. I'm working towards. I'm getting motivation now simply by doing, one step at a time, and I'm treating every single thing I do or I get done on this particular journey. Everything that I do, I'm seeing as a win, and I'm tracking the wins. It's now a series of small steps. It's doing one little bit at a time. Eventually those one little bits, those individual steps will build and build and build. That's really what's driving me now, is being a little bit more, understanding that it's not about the intensity anymore. It's about the consistency, and really forcing myself to be consistent, not waking up and saying, okay, I'm going to skip today, I'm going to go back tomorrow, but being extremely consistent. And already it's a weekend, almost a weekend, and I'm finding that consistency, or that commitment to consistency, is paying off. That I'm already kind of accepting that I won't accept not going to the gym. I won't accept eating poorly. I won't accept right now eating junk food. I'm not saying I'll never, take a day off. I will. I'm not saying that I'll never eat junk food again. Of course, I will. But at this stage, those are things that I'm having to kind of put aside and focus on really what's focus on the goal right now. And I think importantly, it's letting go of the ego. When I was in my 20s and 30s, especially when I was in the army, I could go. We would do a 12, 15 kilometer force march. We would do patrol exercises 12 hours long without stopping. I could go, 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 go. I'm not sure I could do that today. I'd like to give it a bash at some point. I'm not sure that I could do it today or right now. So it's kind of letting go that in my 20s and 30s, things were different. In my 50s, I've got to kind of reevaluate why I'm doing what I'm doing, and reevaluate how I'm doing what I'm doing, if that makes sense. So motivation, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. It's a tough one. It's hard to get up at O dark 100 and to drive to the gym and get going. But it's initially, it's just forcing yourself, just force yourself just to break through that initial and really what it is, it's a mental barrier. You know, one thing that I took from the army was the instructors yelling at us, you know, drive the mind, the body will follow, and pain is weakness leaving the body. And to a degree, it's true. You know, once you've committed to something and you've told yourself that this is what the plan is, this is what I'm doing, you'll do it. So I think to stay motivated, take a series of small but very consistent steps daily. Don't negotiate with yourself to not do them one day. Take them every single day, no matter how small that step is. You know, you wake up at 5 a.m., that's a win. You go to the gym, that's a win. You eat healthy, that's a win. So recognize all of the small steps and all of the small wins, and eventually they'll turn into something pretty big. At least that's what I'm hoping. So that's really what I'm doing to kind of stay motivated. I'm being realistic about where I am at this stage in my life. I'm not in my 20s. I'm not in my 30s. You know, I have to train differently. I have to, I need to eat very differently. I need to recognize that there are changes that happen at this stage in life. But I have to at the same time, you know, when adjusting to those changes, recognize the good things that are coming out, and recognize that each change, each positive thing I'm doing now is a huge win, and eventually it'll turn into a massive win. So I don't know what you guys are doing to stay motivated. If you've got any great tips, I would love to hear them, because anything I can do to kind of add to kind of this mental process that I'm going through will really help me out. But you know, if you're looking at getting back on the journey to wellness, you know, we potentially have another 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 years left, you know, and it's a question of how we want to live for those years. It's not like back in the day when, you know, somebody in their 50s and 60s was already a very old person. You know, things are different today. There's a wide world out there to explore, so many things to do. So it's how we want to tackle those things and embrace life, basically. All right, guys. So yeah, just a quick update. Things are going well. I've been in the gym every day. I'm still pretty much carb free. I haven't really eaten any carbs over the last little while. I'm not really into you know, wanting this to become a channel about, you know, nutrition and everything else. But what I will do, I'll kind of break down in another video like what I'm eating and how I'm eating. It's that time of year, man. Bikes are everywhere. But I'll break down, you know, what I'm eating, when I'm eating, and the supplements I'm taking. So I am kind of adjusting those things as well, and I'll share that on another video. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, I would really appreciate the follow, and hitting the bell notification so you can stay tuned and stay updated with my progress. I haven't weighed myself yet since the initial weigh-in, the video I did a couple of days ago. Like I said, I've got, I'm guessing, surprisingly, I didn't know it was that much, 50, 60 pounds that I want to drop. And although I feel like I'm carrying it fairly well, I'm 6'3", so I do carry it well. But you know, again, if you haven't seen that other video, I'll try and link it below. It's where I talk about, you know, the numbers and where I'm at, and really what's driving me to want to make these changes. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you got anything from it, please give it a thumbs up. And again, if you haven't already, I'd appreciate you subscribing. And until the next video, take care, guys.